Anambra Governor Soludo says traditional rulers without certificates of recognition risk jail sentence. 2023 election, more groups endorse federal lawmaker Nwankwo for Senate. Defense headquarters warns fabricators of arms will face prosecution. Ukraine calls on global community to stop Russia's nuclear threats. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround the maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast News on ABS Television. I am Priska Mwoko. Governor Chukwuma Soludo says individuals who are parading themselves as traditional rulers without certificates of recognition from the Anambra State government risk jail sentence. Speaking at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, when he received a traditional ruler of Awka community, Obi Gibson Musu, and some prominent Awka people, Governor Soludo would describe as an abomination for one to parade himself as traditional ruler without certificate of recognition from the government, maintains that his administration is committed to restoring dignity and sanctity of the traditional institution in Anambra State. Governor Soludo said that Awka community holds 60% of what is needed for the development of Anambra State, charged the people of the community to take the lead in the government dream of making Anambra a livable and prosperous city. He regretted that the absence of peace in the community is affecting speedy development of the area as a state capital, and urged the people to go back to the drawing board to ensure a lasting peace that will bring even development in the area. Professor Soludo, during the event, regretted the absence of relaxation park in Awka and other facilities needed in the capital city, called on the people of Awka to advise their youth against chasing away intending investors through land speculation. Earlier, the traditional ruler of Awka community, Obi Gibson Musu, told the governor that the essence of the visit was to thank him for the role he played in safeguarding the traditional institution in Awka last September, regretting how an impostor had been parading himself as a traditional ruler. Obi Musu, during the visit, commended the governor for all his development accomplishments in the state and for restoring people's confidence in governance, and reassured him of the total support of Awka community. Among the Awka delegation were the traditional Prime Minister of Awka community, Chief Benjamin Okoye, Professor Austin Noyelo, Chief Ked Ekwenugu, Chief Sebastian Anekwe, Chief Oke Wanna, Ken Chukwura, and Mr. Abuchi Nwozo. The Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajuhi, and Deputy Chief of Staff and State Director of Protocol, Mr. Chinedu Ngoye, were present during the visit. A copy of the appreciation letter was presented to the Governor. As the 2023 general elections draw closer, a group known as Awka North and South, Sikh Dozie Nwankwo, has thrown their weight behind the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, for Anambra Senatorial District, Honorable Dozie Nwankwo. The group made this known at Awka South Local Government Headquarters during their executive meeting of the 20 wards in Awka South Council area. Correspondent Chibuzo Ubidike has the details.
The mountain of billboards in every villages in the council areas. Addressing the gathering, the convener of the event, Prince Ikechukwu Ndiwe, revealed that the support group is his brainchild, which is aimed at mobilizing support and ensuring that Dozie Nwankwo's campaign waxes stronger, saying that the group is ever ready to deliver. He pointed out that the gesture was a voluntary decision of members of the council area in appreciation of the accountability, impactful and quality representation that Honorable Nwankwo demonstrated in the House of Representatives for the past years.
But this time around, in Aya, you see that we are no more doing party things, because you might have a party candidate, but he will not be the voice of the people or the choice of the people. But this time around, when men look in, Dozie Nwankwo is the choice and is the voice of the mandate of people that he is going to represent us come 2023 in Anambra Senatorial District.
The woman leader of the group, Mrs. Vera Atuigwe and Mrs. Anwureka Mwefo, assured the candidate of the women's support in the council areas.
Ina kwado ofuma maka na ife kwuru ka na-eme dozie nwa nkwa abụrụ onye ejiri egwuregwu especially n'Awka South. Ọ mmadụ anyị chọrọ iji wee shine mmadụ ya abụ ọkwụlụ ife akwụdebe inegwu anya fụna mmadụ eji eje ife ịnụrụ ihe ekwulu ebe a na ọ bụrụ sọsọ sineti a ka ọ ya azọ anyị na-eneje anyị na ọ ka ya abụkwu gọvanọ Anambra steeti n'oge na-adịghị anya so na ụmụ nwaanyị na-akwadosi ike with full force.
To me, if I'm to say, I must say that Dozie Nwankwo is the most credible person for the Senate. I have no doubt about it. And because of his behavior, everybody loves him. You can, from what I'm saying, everybody loves him, want to promote him, to go there and bring our thing and come back.
The coordinator of non-indigenous members of the group, Mr. Clement Ebentu, who said he has lived in Anambra State for 26 years and can attest the pedigree of Honorable Nwankwo in keeping to his promises to the people. He said non-indigents in the state have benefited from the transparent representation of Honorable Nwankwo over the years, and revealed that they have made a collective decision in backing the federal lawmaker to make more achievement on behalf of his constituents. Receiving the people at the council headquarters, the Transition Committee Chairman for Awka South Local Government Area, Mr. Thank Anago, appreciated the group for speaking with one voice and pointed out that representation goes beyond personal interests and described Honorable Nwankwo as an individual whose impact and love for his constituents have earned him the choice of the people. The Awka South Mayor encouraged the group to campaign vigorously for Dozie Nwankwo in Awka. Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Anambra State Command has arrested 8 persons suspected to be transporting and dealing with adulterated petroleum products as well as transloading adulterated products. The Anambra State Commandant of the Corps, Mr. Chikere Chukwudi, stated this during a press briefing in Awka. Chibuzo Okoye tells us more.
Addressing the press, Mr. Chukwudi said that the command anti-vandalism team intercepted and arrested 4 suspects, namely Ahmed Luka, Mohammed Sani, John Sari, and Ali Ahmed Jafra, all male and from Nasarawa State, at Immigration Junction, Awka, transporting 40,000 liters of suspected adulterated petroleum product with truck number Nasarawa KRV 825XB, while Jerry Aga from Nasarawa, Christian Asa, James Tasu, and Silas Mutoko, all male from Benue State, were arrested transloading 40,000 liters of suspected adulterated product at a filling station in Umuopu, Awka, with long hose, 1 pumping machine, and a truck with registration number Bauchi 595XR. The commandant said that the arrests were made possible due to the operational strategies put in place by the command since his arrival and geared towards curbing the activities of those engaging in illegal dealings on petroleum products and pipeline vandalization. Mr. Chukwudi noted that the command will intensify its efforts towards the eradication of oil theft and economic sabotage to the federal government's main source of revenue. He further appreciated the support of the Commandant General of the NSCDC, Dr. Ahmed Audi, and Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State in ensuring that they do their job seamlessly, and promised that they will continue to protect government's critical assets and infrastructure, and assured the continuous protection of lives and property of Ndi Anambra, even as they attributed their successes to the synergy existing among all the security agencies working in Anambra State.
We are going to put in our best to provide adequate security for people of Anambra State. Our men are out and we are very much ready.
One of the suspects, Mr. John Sari, told ABS that he was escorting one of the tankers conveying the suspected adulterated product in Awka. This is Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
The member representing Anambra East and West Federal Constituency, Honorable Chinedu Obidiwe, has called on the federal government to urgently find a lasting solution to the perennial flooding threatening the life and property of Nigerians. Honorable Bidigwe made this appeal when he visited his constituents. They were displaced by the flood in the various holding centers created by the Anambra State government at Umueri Unity Hall, Anambra East Local Government Area, Ewaku, Ifitogwari, Umueje, Ola in Ayamelum Council Area, among numerous other places. Again, Chibuzo Okoye takes the story from here.
Addressing his constituents at each of the camps visited, Honorable Bidigwe, who gave financial support at the camp, regretted that the perennial flooding has cost his constituents fortunes, their means of livelihood as well as human lives. The lawmaker, who is the Deputy Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Environment, who was deeply saddened with the conditions of his people, noted that he had written to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, to immediately supply relief materials to the people, and wondered why nothing has been done, even when he submitted the letters by himself and promised that he will ensure that both the agency and the ministry respond to their duties, as all Nigerians must be treated equally. He commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo's administration for its doggedness and responsiveness in ensuring that the flood-displaced persons are well taken care of, and called on the federal government to dredge the River Niger and Omambla River and build dams that would contain water each time Cameroon releases water from its dam to bring a permanent solution to the humanitarian crisis affecting the people.
Yes, of course, I've moved the motion on this aspect, and the motion was very clear. The Nigerian government should construct their own dam to contain the flood. Whenever Cameroon releases their own dam, you cannot quantify the level of damage and decay. People are dying of hunger. I have written to NEMA. I have written to Minister of Humanitarian.
Thanking the lawmaker for his benevolence, the traditional ruler of Ezeagulotu Aguleri, Igwe Lawrence Nwofia, said that the flood has brought untold hardship to the people, even as he prayed God to bless Honorable Bidigwe, whom he described as the best thing that has happened to the federal constituency. One of the flood victims, Mrs. Udume Luo Ibanu, at Ibahu Holding Center, described Honorable Bidigwe as a pillar that brings joy to his people and urged other lawmakers to emulate him. Earlier, Honorable Bidigwe visited some of his constituents who were camping at different locations not captured by the Anambra State government, where he extended the same monetary largesse to them. Among those in the lawmaker's entourage during the visit were the member representing Anambra West constituency in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Patrick Obalomodoba, the traditional ruler of Mpunando to Aguleri, Igwe Johnson Mbanefo, the Anambra East chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Chief Joseph Ehwalo, his Anambra West counterpart, Chief Charles Ahwalo, a former transition committee chairman of Anambra East Local Government Area, Barrister Obiweke, among numerous others. This is Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
Directorate of Defense Media Operation has said that Daikon Kaduna is the only establishment in Nigeria mandated by the government to produce arms and ammunition, adding that all those who engage in fabricating local ammunition are committing an offense against the federal government of Nigeria and will be punished accordingly. Ekwi Ajide has the details.
The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Dam Madami, gave this warning while clarifying issues at the bi-weekly press briefing on troops' activities, operational successes and challenges in the various operational theaters of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. He stated that there is only one establishment authorized by government to produce arms and ammunition in Nigeria, and as such, any other person found to be doing that will be arrested and made to face the full weight of the law. Dam Madami had earlier noted that troops arrested as suspected Boko Haram terrorists and the Islamic State of West Africa Province armor technician at Goron village in Manguno local government area of Borno State with 300 empty cases of ammo suspected to be used for fabricating 7.62 mm specials. The director, Media Operations, who had said troops also discovered and destroyed over 70 illegal refining sites in the south, and southeast zones, called on stakeholders, including the media and the citizenry, to continue to cooperate with the military and other security agencies in their quest to restore peace and tranquility to the country through the provision of prompt and credible information on the activities of terrorists and other criminal elements in their respective locality.
Any other person who is into that act and is caught definitely has committed an offense against the Federal Republic of Nigeria and will be dealt appropriately with.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide, ABS News.
The Nigeria-Saudi Arabia Joint Commission holding in Abuja has ended after 2 days of intensive negotiations and several draft agreements and the Memorandum of Understanding presented by the two countries dealing with various aspects of Nigeria-Saudi cooperation. Again, Princess Ekwi Ajide filed on this report taken from her.
The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Zubairu Dada, said discussions and negotiations will continue on pending MOUs and agreements which could not be concluded during the current session, particularly those on investment promotion and protection agreement and that on the avoidance of double taxation. He, however, expressed pleasure that drafts held under 3 broad working groups covering the fields of education, culture, youth, sports, defense, security, drugs and human trafficking, economic, trade and investment, Hajj, labor, among others, were fruitful and the MOUs were signed. The minister commended the experts for the good work done, expressing belief that the conclusions and the outcome of the session will go a long way in uplifting and advancing the existing level of bilateral relations for the mutual benefits of their people. Mr. Zubairu promised that Nigeria is committed to implementing the MOUs and agreements signed with a view to elevating the cooperation between the countries to a higher level. The Saudi Arabian Deputy Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture for Fisheries, Engineer Ahmed Ekimesi, lent his voice to the call that recommendations of the session be subject to implementation and development to contribute to deepening relations between the two countries in various fields, especially economic and trade cooperation for the benefit of all. He also hopes that the signing of agreement between the Federation of Saudi Chambers and the Federation of Nigerian Chambers will widen the horizon to provide opportunities for the private sector of both countries.
Based on the desire of the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of Nigeria enhance joint cooperation, deepen and existing points of friendship between the two countries, and develop cooperation in economic, social, and culture field, which was built civilization background since several times, as well as the common understanding to achieve the interest of the two countries and enhance cooperation between them.
The third session of the joint session is expected to hold in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at a date to be chosen by the host country. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide, ABS News.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russian officials have begun to prepare their society for the possible use of nuclear weapons, but added he does not believe Russia is ready to use them. In an interview, President Zelensky denied having urged strikes on Russia, claiming that an earlier remark had been mistranslated. In recent weeks, the Ukrainian army has recaptured large swathes of territory in a successful counter-offensive that has forced Russian troops to abandon long-held positions. In what Kyiv describes as Moscow's response to its defeat, President Vladimir Putin has incorporated 4 partially occupied regions of Ukraine. The annexations, widely dismissed as illegal, have raised fears of possible escalation in the 7-month war. President Putin and other senior Russian officials have suggested that nuclear weapons, possibly smaller tactical weapons, could be used to defend those areas, although Western officials say there has been no evidence Moscow is prepared to do so. Victor Osimhen could be available for selection when Napoli take on Cremonese on Sunday. Osimhen has been out of action since he sustained a hamstring injury in Napoli's 4-1 victory over Liverpool in the Champions League last month. The 23-year-old striker returned to individual training last week, and he was expected to be on the bench for Napoli's clash at Ajax on Tuesday. Unfortunately, he was not considered fit for the game. However, according to reports from Il Mattino, Osimhen looks set to be named in the Napoli squad that will take on Cremonese at the Stadio Givenchy Zini. Still, the Nigerian striker may only make a cameo appearance to prevent a relapse. Moreover, the Paterni Pens have been firing on all the cylinders since Osimhen's injury, with Simeon and Raspadori in hot form. Remember, you can follow ABS in many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television, or follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. To end the news this morning, a recap of the main points. Anambra Governor Soludo has said the traditional rulers without certificate of recognition risk a jail sentence. 2023 election, more groups have endorsed a federal lawmaker, Nwankwo, for Senate. Defense headquarters has warned that fabricators of arms will face prosecution. Ukraine has called on global community to stop Russia nuclear threats. Here is the special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround the maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that ends the breakfast news at this time on ABS Television. I am Priska Nwankwo. Ugh.